We're down in Tribeca, my old stomping ground. My very first apartment in New York City was here, a block away, so I love coming down here. It's just full of memories, 31 years ago, but we're not here to do a memory show. We're here to talk about Jimmy Bradley, really cool guy, veteran New York restaurateur, been at the Red Cat for over a dozen years and the Harrison since 9/11. Great restaurant guy, total pro. Half the day we'll spend up in Chelsea at the Red Cat, the other half down here at the Harrison, meet the chefs, see the food, a couple of cocktails, get some demos. You know the drill, that's what's on the menu.
I'm Mike Colameco, industry insider. Been in the business my whole life, and I know what it takes to succeed. Each week we'll take you into real kitchens, filmed in real time. Backstage passes to a day in the life of chefs, restaurateurs, and their teams. The competition's fierce. Careers, life savings, and reputations hang in the balance. These are my people, and this is their passion. And that's what's next on Mike Colameco's Real Food.
Mike Colameco's Real Food is brought to you by the continuous, generous support of the following underwriters.
Colavita, a true Italian.
What goes into King Arthur flour can't be measured in a single cup. Thousands of recipes, plus products, and other baking resources are at kingarthurflour.com.
From Wilshire Farms comes Lou's Garrett Valley Naturals, a collection of our recipes made from minimal ingredients without added antibiotics, hormones, nitrates, nitrites, or artificial ingredients. Lou's Garrett Valley Naturals.
A heritage preserved over centuries with passion, craftsmanship, and care. The flavor of European pork and beef. The taste of European tradition.
Mancini, maker of American fire-roasted peppers.
Imported from Italy, Anna Pasta is made from 100% Italian durum wheat semolina and pure spring water, slowly dried to cook al dente. Recipes online at cento.com.
What are we making? We'll set this thing up. Tell me, Jimmy, what are we making?
If you take the yummy pizza cheese off the pizza,
Okay.
this is it.
So Jimmy arrived to New York a bit after I did, part of a cadre of chefs that drifted from Philadelphia to New York, like Frankie Crispo, Joey Campanero, Jimmy Bradley, and many, many others. Well, cut to the chase, 20 years later, he's had these great restaurants, the Red Cat for 15 years, the Harrison, he's killing it.
We edit, but give me the story. How'd you get into this business? You're from where and what led you to today?
Born in Rhode Island, raised in Philadelphia. The Italian side of the family is from Philadelphia, and they make wine in Italy, in Alba, in the Piedmont, the Pio Cesare label.
I think we've heard of the brand.
So in the 70s, when I was growing up, I was supposed to be interested in wine and maybe perhaps work in the wine company. We use only Italian Fontina. We think it melts better, and it's less oily when you melt it. And we're gonna put the Fontina into a cast iron casserole pan, and we're just gonna melt it with some herbs and some garlic. A little bit of salt, a little fresh pepper, and just a little bit of olive oil. That's the whole dish. And then I went off to university in Rhode Island, and I was a waiter in a restaurant, and one day I decided to shave my head bald. So my boss says, "You're fired." He says, you can't fire me because, you just promoted me from busboy to waiter. I do good work. So he took me by the hand like I was a child, and he brought me into the kitchen, and he introduced me to the chef, and he said, "You know this kid? Yeah, everybody knows everybody." He goes, he now works for you." And I never went back to work in the front of the house until I bought my own restaurant. So there you go.
Beautiful.
Over about a year's worth of playing around with different techniques and casseroles and so on. We came up with this. We've been doing it for 10 years at least now.
Home run.
Yeah. It's as good as any fondue is going to be. There's no guesswork. We have the cheese laying around, and we make it when people order it.
Perfect. Simple,
Right?
delicious. Here's Executive Chef Bill
Daniel.
McDaniel. Bill McDaniel. You've been here for how many years?
Going on 13.
All right, and how many years has the restaurant been here?
Going on 15.
All right, so you're like the guy. You've been here forever. The other half of your brain, he's the guy who runs this place.
Right?
Good.
Exactly.
Tell me about what we're going to make here. This is a dish, one of these famous dishes that never comes off the menu.
It's been here forever. People come in, before they even look at the menu, before they speak to anybody, is one of the first things they sit down and say, "We'll get the tempura beans."
Let's see how this does. I want to steal this recipe.
All
I
right.
always look for good batters.
Egg whites, And all the ingredients are easy. You know, you don't have to go get some fancy, you know, Japanese batter recipe. This is all pretty quick and easy. Soft peak, we're gonna use ice cold seltzer also. So we'll just whisk in a little bit of the flour.
He's done this before.
Once or twice. So it's thickening up, so now you balance it back out with the soda. The beans, nice Georgia green beans.
Whole, clean, just
Clean,
snip the ends
snap
off.
right off. We're gonna drop them right in here and right into the fryer.
That fat's 375. The beans are mostly water. You drop them in there for a minute and a half. The water's boiling. It's like blanched beans.
Yep.
Perfect. Super light,
Quick.
super crispy, warm, tastes like beans. And I could just see why people love this kind of food, because it's shareable, it's fun, it's accessible, not a lot of thinking.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is a people business and this is a team business. The best case scenario is you have a good idea and you want to be a team leader. You know, worst case scenario is you think your ideas are great and you don't need anybody to help you. Nothing really happens like that. The more you share, the more you get from it.
Semifreddo is Italian dessert. Semifreddo meaning half frozen. It is made by making a meringue with egg whites and sugar, which we have going on the KitchenAid right now. We'll chop up the pistachio brittle, and then we fold that all together and freeze it.
I'm looking at pistachio and sugar.
Pistachio, sugar, just a touch of lemon juice, because you don't want it to crystallize.
So you're not pulsing this in a machine?
No, I don't usually like to do that because I find that sometimes it gets a little bit too fine.
You know, the semifreddo is soft and the praline adds
Yeah,
that
it's a
really
crunch.
nice texture.
And then we'll take this,
We have whipped cream, now we have nuts, pinch of salt.
and it's really not overly sweet. And we just fill these guys up.
And of course, the top is going to be the bottom when we serve
Right.
it, so there's no need for such a technical approach to the schmear.
It's gonna be the dome sitting up.
So I got you one out of the freezer upstairs.
There you
Okay.
go. Ta-da. Now, is there like a little cookie on the bottom, or genoise or something? Am I
That's
missing something?
the flourless crumb fresh brownie. It's really good.
It wasn't technical enough. She had to chef it up a little.
Yeah. And then we put a little bit of pink peppercorns.
So cool.
And
so
then-
this is cold, frozen. That's how we're
Yes.
eating it, and then this is warm.
Yes. And then we just pour that right over the top.
And we do this table side for the ooh la la factor.
Well, that's ooh la la factor to me, man. Look at that.
This is the true test right here. And that no obviously means yes, right?
Man. Well, I'm glad these aren't near me.
Right?
I mean, I could do one of those every night after dinner. Congratulations, man. Kid from Ecuador, from Brooklyn, comes to New York, bar back, becomes a bartender at Lever House, and now he's running the program here at Red Cake.
Yes,
so you're going to
yes.
do like this homemade ginger ale, which I've had about 10 glasses already. I think I'm turning into a piece of ginger root, but show me how you make this and
All
just
right,
walk us through
absolutely.
it.
It's a signature cocktail that's been with us for quite a while. What we like to do is muddle some fresh ginger.
So you're just going to muddle the whole ginger root that's peeled, smash it up into
We're going to
smithereens.
smash it. We're going to give it a good muddle. So we're going to start with a little bit of fresh lemon juice,
So now we've got acid.
a little bit of orange bitters. So we're going to add about a couple of dashes. We make a syrup that sort of is infused with ginger. It's a little bit spicy because of the fresh ginger in there. So you are going to get a little bite to it. So we'll give it a good shake. And now the last step to this, it'll be the soda. Give the glass a rinse. Garnish it with a lemon wheel. Cheers.
Thank you.
From yours to ours.
And you actually get ginger coming up through the straw, so you're drinking it, you're chewing these
And
little
you're
pieces of
chewing it.
ginger.
Yeah.
So good, and no booze.
No booze at all. Jack Daniel's a good candidate.
It's early in the day for me. It's early in the day. I haven't gone on the wagon yet, folks.
This dish is 4 ingredients: zucchini, almonds, pecorino cheese, and olive oil.
Bingo.
And we're just going to do something like this,
The outsides.
where we just use the outside.
Right.
So we'll do three passes on each side,
Because that center's woody and core-like and seedy.
and then we julienne them to basically resemble matchsticks. This is pecorino romano, and we use this instead of a Parmesan cheese because it's more robust because it's sheep's milk, and it also has more salt flavor.
Yeah,
more
it's
salinity.
saltier, it's acidy, it's sharper.
And there's not many ingredients in this dish, so each one really has to do its job. Toast your almonds in the oil. And when your almonds start to turn a little brown around the edges, you put your zucchini in.
And the zucchini, the introduction of the zucchini in the pan stops the almonds from cooking, drops the temperature. This is really like a 1-minute pickup.
We want everybody to have this dish. We really think this is the perfect example of what we do. And our goal is less is more. It's literally the fewest amount of ingredients with the simplest techniques. 2 pieces of cheese on top. We finished a lot of our dishes with virgin olive oil and a little chiffonata parsley. And so this is a perfect example of, you know, you don't need much.
Crunchy, healthy.
And the cheese really makes it, right? Like, it just wouldn't be the same.
Cheese brings the whole thing together.
Right. You know, we live in a BBD society, a bigger, better deal society. Where, you know, you go to Europe, the best food in Europe a lot of times is in the place with the broken window and the dirty carpet.
Yeah.
You know, the mom and pop joint. I always knew that if I was gonna have a business, it was gonna look and feel exactly like the Red Cat. My struggle was always, I know I'm never gonna do this for somebody else, I have to do it for myself. And I moved here in '94, and the Red Cat opened in '99. So it took me about 5 years to figure it out, get some great relationships, get my feet wet, and then just jump off the pier.
And you've got this great view. Talk about this corner.
Yeah, it's a coup. As I know it, we have I think the only outdoor cafe where you can see the sunset over the Hudson, and you can see the new New York skyline, the newest addition, the new World Trade Center.
Yeah. Now that's all said and done and buttoned up, it's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's good to be here. We were slated to open
9/11.
Yeah, our opening day was September 17th, 2001. Yeah. And then, you know, after September 11th, it was really, you know, it was horrible and difficult for everybody. And our first thought was probably not to open the restaurant. But, you know, we had hired 44 people. We had gone through orientation. And our only real intention is to be a neighborhood joint for a neighborhood, for the neighborhood to use. You should open. Opening date was October 26th.
Yeah, you were the first.
I wrote the mayor a letter and I invited him to dinner. Obviously, we didn't have an opening party. And he sent me back this lovely letter and he said, I can't, but here it is. You're the first business that I know of that opens downtown. Then he went on TV and he said, dine out downtown.
Tell me what we're gonna do today. We've got a couple of dishes you're gonna demo.
We're gonna start with the octopus, and we do our octopus with sweet potato falafel. The sweet potato reacts the same way that the chickpeas do to all the flavors that would normally go into your classic falafel. It translates really well, and a lot of the times you'll see octopus with smoked paprika. 9 out of 10 times when you go out and eat, you see octopus smoked paprika, and I love it, but it's kind of played out. So what I tried to do is something along the same lines, but a little different, and that would be to make our own harissa. And I started
with that Moroccan spice mix.
We start with the spices, which we've toasted, of course. That's probably the most important step, is to toast your chilies and your spices, because that's really gonna unlock all the flavors. Now we could use the spice grinder, but it just wouldn't be the same. It's something about doing it the hard way, where it's just totally worth it. It's just a different color, different texture, different flavor. So it's kind of one of those things where I kind of make the cooks do it like this.
Homemade harissa.
After a few days,
this is what we end up with.
It really, the color of the chili really comes through.
Wow.
And it's just super, super sexy looking. So here we got the octopus. The trick here is you want to go on the very hot part of the grill. Throw the octo right on there, then finish it with the good stuff. Hit the octo with a little lemon, a little frisee, and some shaved red onion on top. And we can call it a day, fellas.
Here with Josh, the bar manager, will do one of these things, man. There's a reason we did that.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, okay. What do you have in mind for us today?
Sailor's Cat Punch. It's classic rum-based and cognac-based punch. So rum, cognac, demerara, lime juice. So lime juice.
All right. Got some acid happening in there.
Right.
That's my simple sugar. It's demerara. Right.
Then we got Pierre Ferrand.
Good, honest cognac.
And then we're gonna do the rum. Now what we've done specifically to this rum, we steeped it for a couple days on rhubarb.
That's why it has that color.
So that's why it gets that pink color
the
to it.
rhubarby, cloudy slightly.
Just helps with the funk. You know, the Smith & Cross is 120 proof. It's so, it's just so funky.
That's a big old pour right there.
It's a big old pour. We got a big old glass. You're a big old guy.
Thank you.
And then just one big ice cube in the center. And then just to top it off,
grated nutmeg.
super traditional nutmeg tray grated. They first started making punches back in like the 1350s when they started introducing the spice trade to England from Indonesia. So that's how it all came about. Once they got the spices, they got the limes, they got the sugar, they got the nutmeg, they got all that stuff together, and they were just trying not to die on the ships, basically.
All's well. All's well, Captain. All's well in the world.
Fire corn salad tureen. Pan roasted diver scallops.
Cod's got a nice corn crust on it, give it some texture. So we got some marinated heirloom tomatoes. Then on top we have a little Sicilian tuna.
Great share.
Until it's empty. That's a great item.
Yeah, this is Hampshire pork. And it's just, it's got a good amount of fat to it. The brine is pretty straightforward. Water, crushed garlic, chili flake, sugar, salt, little crushed bay leaf, and some juniper berries. And what we have here is some juniper, little crushed coriander, some fennel seed, crushed black pepper. And what we want to do is we go rather aggressively because it's a thick cut of meat. So we want it, we want it to come through. Little oil, lather her up, right onto the grill. So here we have some cannellini beans that have been cooked real slow with some bacon. Once they're nice and tender, we take a little bit of the mixture out and we puree it, and then we pour it back in.
So it gives it the viscosity. I love that.
We don't have to add any cream to it.
Right.
We don't have to add any dairy to it.
Has its own starch.
Exactly. Add a little bean liquid to that guy. I'm gonna add my my grated pecorino. Then here we have a little sage, thyme, and rosemary. Then a little extra virgin olive oil at the end. So it's just it's a good way to do beans. You can even serve the beans as a side. Shave a little pecorino over it. Extra virgin sea salt.
It's a meal. I mean, that's what poor people ate for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking southern Italy lived on beans.
We already got the nice marks going on, pushing down a little bit. And then as a garnish with the beans, just because it's a little on the rich side, we want to balance that out. And what we'll do is a nice kale and arugula salad. And then we'll toss that in a very simple black olive tapenade, just olives, little lemon zest, little anchovy, garlic. Beans are nice and creamy. Chop is at a nice medium. That right in the middle. And then we're gonna finish it with that arugula and kale olive tapenade salad.
I'm gonna have a nibble of the beans first. Chef, the beans are great, man.
Thank you.
Beans are just killer.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of our more popular dishes.
Oh, I could see, man. That spice crust on the outside is great.
Awesome.
This is gonna add some acid to it in contrast for texture. I love the tapenade and the vinaigrette too.
It's a nice touch.
Another winner. Chef, thank you. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Good job. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, brother. Sergio, this guy, one of the best cooks I've seen on the line in New York City in a long time. Shuts up, puts his nose down, tastes everything, comes in early, works late. This is the kind of we need in New York. More guys like him. You're the man. He's good. From Pueblo. Does that surprise anybody? Steve Bradley.
Michael.
You got the memo on the blue shirt?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Yeah,
Thank
good.
you. Packed accordingly.
Can I tell you?
What can I say? End of the summer.
Hey, he has a tan. You're back from Rhode Island. I'm back from the Jersey Shore.
Just trying.
We're working. Congratulations on the success of Red Cat and Harrison. Cool story. Good story that you have. I asked you to come up because I'm too lazy to cook on the back end of some of these shows. So what do you have in mind? I see salmon. I see a potato. I see risotto, peaches. And I don't want to begin to guess what I'm signing up for here.
Sure. I guess a little late summer. Peach and pancetta risotto. It's a dish I've been making for many years, and sometimes I move away from it, I forget about it, and every time a guest will come up to me and say, hey, remember this thing? Then I make it again. I'm like, wow, I used to love that dish.
Right.
Why don't we make that anymore? So it's pretty simple. It's just some late summer peaches with a little diced pancetta rendered, Parmesan cheese and a little bit of parsley. You know, it's a little sweet and savory, and then we finish it with a little bit of pink peppercorn. So it gives it just a little bit more punch. But it's, you know, it's our kind of food. Less is more, you know, a few ingredients.
Chicken stock's the neutral stock. What are you using for it?
Yeah, we're going to use it. Well, you know, in the restaurant, I would use vegetable broth, but because, you know, I know you for a long time.
We're using beef marrow.
We're using bacon and beef marrow.
Good, thank you. He knows me. Salmon tartare?
Yeah, a little Atlantic salmon, and it's just, you know, a little bit of onion and a little bit of oil to hold it all together and season it. And then a little bit of fried potato on top for some texture. And I'll get you going on that. And for this, you know, I just peel a potato like I'm just peeling the potato. You know, I'm half Irish, so, you know, wherever I can put a potato, wherever I can fit it in, we're gonna do it. Oh yeah.
We're good?
Perfect.
We'll add a couple of pieces.
Just fry those up for a little color. As they get a little bit of color,
yeah.
And you can see the skin kind of crinkles up on them.
All right, I've got this job down. Jimmy, you're gonna go solo on the back end.
Okay.
I'm the potato fryer boy.
Coming around. So this is just some very thinly sliced cucumber. And then with the cucumber, I'm going to make a little pattern on the plate. Scallion, green onion, a little bit of red onion. I think this one looks nicer. I'm gonna dice up a little salmon, take the skin off. I kind of like to chop it because I think it has a little bit more texture. Salt, this is black pepper, Italian parsley. Oh, that's perfect, beautiful. Got it. A little virgin olive oil. A little bit of mustard oil. We're gonna mix it all together. I'm gonna put it in this little serving dish, and hopefully this will come out of here.
Bingo, look at that, hello.
Beautiful, and then I am going to season the plate.
It's a little more of that mustard oil.
Yeah. Look at the color.
The color's insane.
Look at how that goes, huh?
Little turn of the pepper mill.
Oh, these are cooked perfectly, Michael. Look at you.
You know what I'm saying?
So there you go. Now it's Irish style.
Got the potatoes in the house.
Before it was a little Frenchified. Now?
This is food that must be eaten fresh because it's raw.
Yeah, simple. Again, none of the ingredients are cooked besides the potatoes. It's nice, right?
Freaking great.
Yeah, it's the kind of the epitome of what we like to do at the Red Cat, and even at the Harrison, you know. Less can be more if you want it to be.
All right, you got to give me a job for the risotto dish. So since I did a slam dunk job with the potato skins, if I'm the pancetta renderer.
You're the cooker, yes. Since it is probably your favorite thing on this table, might as well give it to you.
Fat and meat, equal proportion.
So I'll cut it up for you, and then you can cook away at it. Is that enough pancetta for you, or?
Yeah.
That's enough, right?
I think it'll work.
Okay.
It's only one portion, right?
For the base of the risotto, I usually use a little white onion and a little garlic to flavor the rice. Oh, they smell great.
Shame to waste this fat.
Flat parsley. Nice. Beautiful.
All right, and just for the interest of full disclosure, that is the oil that we saved from the rendered pancetta because it just tastes so good. And the goal here is we don't want any color on these, we just want these translucent.
So here's a little risotto
Bingo.
for you. And then you have the wine in the broth over there, yes?
We'll just eyeball this, make it the first thing in the pan. We'll let that wine reduce a bit. Now we're just gonna add some stock, a couple of ounces at a time.
That's starting to look like risotto now, huh?
Yeah, it's a couple of minutes. We'll taste a little nubbin, because I could feel the rice is actually just beginning to soften up a little bit.
It's looking good, Michael.
I was saying before how much we use our ears when we cook. When you're sauteing things, you can hear them as the pan begins to dry out. It's beginning to stick on the bottom.
Like the tar pits a little.
Yeah.
It's got a gurgle to it.
Yeah, pop to it. It's really kind of got a viscosity.
I think we can start to go.
Let's go. Pancetta in. Peaches in. All right, you guys stir it around. Parsley.
Just a little nub.
Some butter.
Just a little nub.
Spread that
And
out.
you know, again, this is creamy with no cream. Did you put any seasoning in here at all?
No, none, none.
So, which is perfect. So at the end, and again, this is a very starchy thing, so if it looks like I'm using a lot of salt,
It's not a lot of salt. It's not a lot of salt.
This is de rigueur for this specific dish.
That's French.
And so I think we're done. I think
All right.
we put the cheese in it.
Bingo.
You want to plate it here or up front?
Plate it up front.
Okay.
All right, we'll meet you on the other side, folks.
Beautiful. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's just exactly where we wanted it.
Right? And then here we have a little bit of pink peppercorn that I've crushed. And so this is what really makes the dish. And once around with the black, and then that's perfect. That's ready to eat, you know. And
this is so
I'm glad you
good.
like it. Oh, that's nice. Because this, you know, this isn't a dish for everybody, you know.
No, this is so good.
It's a little weird.
And a real surprise, because it is weird.
And it works, though, right?
I'm thinking peaches,
I
risotto,
know.
pancetta,
Yeah,
pink
save that for
pepper.
somebody else.
Yeah. What?
The only reason why I
Where's this
made it for
restaurant?
you is because it has bacon in it. I thought you'd forgive me for that.
Terrible. Where did I get this reputation?
Well, I just thought
That's
if I made you risotto bianco with peaches, you'd be fine on camera, and then off camera, you'd assassinate my character. So, probably
You're
true. Not bad, right?
That's perfect, brother. Continued success too.
Thank you. You're the best.
How many years? How many years at?
Red Cat's
Cat?
15,
Wow.
and Harrison's 13. And
for
you
you.
know, the whole time I've been keeping up with you. You've been on there for what, 10, 12, 14 years
12,
now?
going
12
on 13,
years.
this will be
So
13.
you know, I'm right there with you.
You got a harder job than
Stay
I do.
strong.
You
Well,
got a
you
harder.
know,
you got a real
I got
job.
100 employees.
Thanks again.
Cheers. Thank you, Michael.
Try his restaurants. I love them both.
Please do.
Till next week.
Yes.
Mike Colameco's Real Food is brought to you by the continuous, generous support of the following underwriters.
Colavita, a true Italian.
Imported from Italy, Anna pasta is made from 100% Italian durum wheat semolina and pure spring water, slowly dried to cook al dente. Recipes online at cento.com.
La Baleine sea salt, naturally crystallized by the Mediterranean sun and wind on the coast of France. A heritage preserved over centuries with passion, craftsmanship, and care. The flavor of European pork and beef. The taste of European tradition.
From Welshire Farms comes Lou's Garrett Valley Naturals, a collection of our recipes made from minimal ingredients without added antibiotics, hormones, nitrates, nitrites, or artificial ingredients. Lou's Garrett Valley Naturals. Rachel Ray's signature specialty food line, from her all-natural extra virgin olive oils and balsamic vinegars to her stock in a box, designed for preparing meals at home.